Welcome to this tutorial on completing the square. When we complete the square, we want to get the variable terms bunched together and the other item off separately. And then what we hope to do, and what we need to do, is factor out whatever number is attached to the x squared. In this case, it's just a -1. But we factor it out from the variable terms. So the positive 11x will become a negative 11x. But we leave the number that's off by itself alone. Now we complete the square. So this will become x minus 11 halves in the parentheses being squared. But now we square the 11 halves. 11 squared is 121, that's the numerator. 2 squared is 4, that's the denominator. And when we square the negative, it becomes a positive. But be careful, because when we distribute, we really just included a negative 121 fourths in our expression. To balance that out, we need to add 121 fourths on the other side. Now for those of us who want to do this mentally with the fractions, negative 20 would be really a negative 80 fourths. We're adding 121 fourths, and when we combine those two items, it's going to be a positive 41 fourths. If you want to use your calculator to check it, that's fine, but please make sure that you write the answer as an improper fraction, and what is boxed in red would be completed the square. Second example. Again, we start off by putting the x's in one spot and separating the constant. We factor out whatever number is attached to the x squared from both variable terms. We leave the constant number alone. We keep the 6 when we go through and complete the square, and in this case, half of negative 12 would be a negative 6. When we square negative 6, it's a positive 36, but be careful, because at this point we've really added in 6 times 36, which is 216 to this expression. That means we need to subtract 216 from the other side, or from the number that's by itself. This will be a minus 206 at the end. So our final answer is what I just boxed in red. It is the 6 times the quantity x minus 6 being squared minus 206. Please show this work as we go. One last example in this tutorial. What if we've got a fraction attached to the x squared? Again, we start by just keeping the variable terms together and putting the constant number off on the side. We factor out what was attached to our x squared, and we factor that out from both variable terms. Now here's the thing in this problem. When we take the 1x and we divide it by a negative 1/3, be careful what we put here. It might be easier to think about it as, what do we multiply by a negative 1/3 to get a positive 1? And that would be a negative 3x. Because negative 3 times a negative 1/3 is a positive 1. Now we complete the square. So we've got the negative 1/3. Cut this in half, so it'll be x minus 3 halves, the quantity squared. When we square 3 halves, 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4, and it becomes a positive. Now what we've really included, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So what we've really included here is a negative 3/4. You can verify that on your calculator if you need to. To counter it, we need to add 3/4 over on the side. Again, you can either use your calculator, or mentally, this would be 20/4, and 20 plus 3 would be 23/4. So our final answer for this problem is circled here, negative 1/3 times the quantity x minus 3 halves being squared, plus 23/4. Really, once you get the hang of completing the square, it isn't bad. You just follow the same process every time, and you should get it to work out.